How aggressive will the Fed rate hikes be? After a rough day in the markets yesterday that saw the S&P 500 slip into bear market territory, down more than 20% from its most recent high, stocks are rising today as the Federal Reserve kicks off its two-day policy meeting for June, with Federal Chair Jerome Powell expected to announce the Fed's decision tomorrow afternoon. Investors will be watching how aggressive the central bank will be trying to fight inflation, with many now anticipating a hike of 75 basis points, or 0.75 percentage point. After Friday's last consumer price index report showed the annual rate of consumer inflation hitting a new 40-year high, the Fed is under pressure to bring inflation down. Today, another inflation gauge showed that prices manufacturers pay for materials has jumped 10.8% since last year. The producer price index (PPI) jumped 0.8% in May, accelerating from April's figures when PPI rose to 0.4. Often considered a leading indicator of consumer inflation, the rise in producer prices could signal rising costs ahead for consumers as producers pass higher prices along to consumers. A survey by the National Federation of Independent Businesses confirmed that small businesses are passing on increased costs to consumers. The survey found that 72% of small business owners said in May they are raising average prices to cope with inflation, the same share who said so in March, and the most in the survey's 48-year history. So small business owners' expectations of business conditions over the next 6 months dropped to a record low, as over a fifth of respondents, 20%, pointed to inflation as their number one business problem. Simply put, with the increase in the PPI and small business owners raising prices, inflation may not have reached its peak. Off the charts. Grocery bills are relentlessly higher these days, fueling the highest inflation in decades. Here's a look at the biggest price increases last month, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Food inflation in May. Eggs are up 32%. Fresh whole milk is up 16%. Number of the day, 6.20%. 6.20%, that's how high the average rate on a 30-year mortgage got this week. The most in years, according to daily data provided to the balance.